Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for your birthday wish. I'm going to now try to explain to you and especially you in this video about Money is My Plan B, which is another video. And both videos, this video and the Plan B video, should be enough for you to understand the principle that I always employ for anyone that sits on their hands cannot eat, and those that do sit on their hands, once they realize what I'm talking about, they need to get up and then get started. Okay. As you see on the screen, this is from the county that I live in. I live in the state of Maryland, and this is one of the counties that I live in, and I don't think it would be permissible for me to name the county, but I do want you to see that the information on this slide is for those persons who live in the county and those outside of the county throughout the United States of America. All the states in America just about have counties with the exception of Louisiana. I think they have parishes, but there's most of the states, and I think Washington and Seattle may be a little different as well. But nevertheless, what this information is to show, and Money is My Plan B, to the county leader for this county council, how to employ something that we need all to do, and that's not sit on our hands. Anyone that sits on their hand or hands cannot eat because the dexterity of that individual is prohibiting them from moving. Matter of fact, it's kind of hard to get up off of your hands once you sit on your hand because you need the leverage of your dexterity to get off your hands. But I can assure you, as long as you're sitting on your hands, you cannot eat. Yes, money is my plan B, but God is my plan A. And I have quite a few different plans that I can talk to you about. But this one here, this is a peak, pass, and pay plan. Peak, pass, and play. All you got to do is to understand the principle of peak, passing, and praying and paying. You all you need to do is get understanding. And I'm going to keep saying that because that's all one need is an understanding. God said get wisdom and understanding, and above all get understanding. So this wealth transfer allows technology and software peak, pass, and pay marketing systems is going to show you how you are going to benefit from the process of what I'm about to show you now. Now look, this is from this top to the bottom. This is today's job report that was put out on this morning at 6:30, and this is for 9/18/25. That's today's date, and it's for a period covering from January 22 down to August 25. And you see how it dropped from 22, the employment rate in 22 to what it is today, and it's getting worse because tariff was put on some things today, and that line is going to go down under, as you see what happened under the first administration. It's going to go under because of lack of understanding. If you don't have understanding, then you don't have it. And this information that you see here is proof of one not having the understanding that one need in order for this to change, but they don't have the understanding. I'm going to leave it at that and show you this. This is information that I gathered myself. Didn't have no one to give it to me this morning. I went on the internet itself and did a Google search. And all this data that you see here is from the Google search for the job growth in this place we call America. And you can see that the number is down, down, down. And it keeps going down. And I'm of the opinion that it's not going to get better unless some understanding can be put into the top of the contest or the system that we live in. This is the Congressional Revocable Living Trust Chart. The Congressional Revocable Living Trust Chart. I made up the chart myself and gave it a name because these are members of the congressional body. On the left side, you got the minority members. On the majority member, I'm sorry. And on the right side, you got the minority members. These are congressmen from different states. And these persons here, just like the state that I showed you, where I live in the state of Maryland, in the county. Each one of these states either got a parish or a county. And these persons here are responsible for the persons who live in the counties. And many of those persons that live in the county are sitting on their hand and not progressing to get out of the position that they're in. What this information is all about is to show these congresspersons how to show their constituents how to build a revocable living trust. All it's going to do is enhance the county or wherever they live, whatever state. They're going to enhance that state because the money that we're talking about them not having, they're going to have. How did they get it? Well, Money is My Plan B is a video explaining it, but this is an opportunity for you, and especially you, whoever you are, if you're an American citizen, nationwide, learn the Peak Pass and Pay concept and complete the Peak Pass and Pay form. The information that they're asking for, Donald James Woodbury, that's his name, don't know who that is, I just made up the name. Give the address, the phone number. That's really a live phone number for you to call to complete the form. The email address is a email address that was made up just to get you to understand that you have to give accurate information. The age, the state, whether you're employed or unemployed, your name, and then the information that we're gonna submit to passing your information on that you want to be passed on. So all this form is about here is Peak, Pass, and Pay form. And it's for any of the 6 products that we're going to be introduced to in just a minute, with the exception of one. But what we're asking for you to do is to make a decision. And the decision is for you to understand that you become the breaking news. Once you decide that you're going to embark upon what we're talking about in this presentation, then you're going to become the product of the Money is My Plan B video. All the video is doing is explaining to you how you're going to become a wealth transfer alliance business building taxpayer independent business builder. You're going to reduce your income tax by just becoming a business builder. If you don't become a business builder, there's really no way that a person that's going to be able for you not to pay tax for the year 2025 unless you have people, property or properties, business or businesses. But did you know that you and your wife can be businesses? Both of you can, taking advice that's given in Money is My Plan B video, both of you embark upon the same thing. Both of you are going to prepare a joint tax return. And in that joint tax return are going to be the tax deductible independent business building expenses that you will have occurred. And at the same time, you're going to avoid the probate court, the nationwide churches, the state planning technology, attorney drafted software for avoidance of probate is what this is all about. How are you going to avoid probate? Well, it's a simple process. My probate video explains why you should avoid probate, and up under that is giving you some instructions about something that we all are going to do. We all are going to die, but don't die without buying WTA Revocable Living Trust software so that you won't have to pay money out of your estate that you would pay without having a revocable living trust. You become the trust. We're going to show you how the software that you're going to be signing and putting into your vault, your own gifted vault. You're going to put your revocable living trust in your vault. And then when you do die and God gives you a new assignment, your beneficiaries are the person who you have designated to open your vault, to take the attorney drafted software out to show the government through the probate court that you are legally a trust yourself. And there's nothing that they can do because your will without putting it into a revocable living trust will take you into the probate court. And what it's all about here is to show you how to avoid that process. You can enroll at WTAenrollmentform.com. Okay, once you enroll, now you have started your revocable living trust. And you're going to get the software, and you get an understanding of the software at getoffprobate.info, getoffprobate.net. Or you can call, and I would recommend strongly that you call or visit the phone number 1-301-328-4186.com. That's both a phone number and it is also a website. When you go to the website, you're going to meet the founder and president of Wealth Transfer Alliance, explaining to you some things that you really, really need to know to show you how to take advantage of this opportunity. And you can see that the Revocable Living Trust software was drafted by attorney. The attorney drafted software. That's how it was crafted by lawyers. And the lawyers 30 years ago made this process. These lawyers graduated with Barack Obama president, and they were top of the class when they graduated. So that's not the concern that you should be about. Your concern should be about you having an opportunity to grow yourself. This is a residual payment process. The QHB is a process to show you how your employer and your employees, regardless of what other videos that they have had, watch this video here. You see it right there under Plan Overview. Eligible employees may receive an increase in their pay. And if you know yourself as an employee and you share this information with your employer, regardless of who they are, and they take a look at the process of them having their employer having money come into the company and also money coming into your pocket, increasing your pay as an employee. So both the employer and the employee, regardless of who they are, benefit from this process. And the Wealth Transfer Alliance, under the Peak Pass and Pay process, you now pique the interest of the person that needs these services here. And we're going to pass it on to Wealth Transfer Alliance and you get paid. It is actually just that simple. Now here is an example of that process. Money is my plan B. This is about the information that you just saw. Okay, this is giving you detailed information. Put the young lady here so that we can see that the employer and the employee, regardless of who they are, watch this video, and then that person can see the eligibility that the employee has to make and receive an increase in the net pay. This is a form that they would have to be completed for that person, and that person information is then given to the Wealth Transfer Alliance team, and then they in turn send that person the check. Peak, Pass, and Pay. Peak, Pass, and Pay form is what this form. Let's get started. That's all you have to do. It's no buying, no selling. Peak, Pass, and Pay. That's what we're talking about. Now here's something that you need to be aware of. What this is about you, the person sitting on their hands. If these people here had continued sitting on their hands, Rwanda would not launch Africa's first flying car. There's no other flying cars nowhere in the world except on the continent of Africa. Rwanda, the nation, is the only nation in Africa that produces a flying car. Those persons are no longer sitting on their hands. What I'm recommending is that you see what I'm trying to say about you sitting on your hands. You got to get up and get started on something that you're going to benefit you and your entire family. And here is an example of that. My name is David Richardson. You can see at the top, your advocate. I am an advocate with Wealth Transfer Alliance. You see my phone number, and I pray that you call that number so we can get involved with it. My email address is moneyismyplanb. Well, that's my plan also. Plan A is my Lord, and Plan B is me. My video is that money is my plan B. And I am an WTA Building Business Tax Deductible Estate Planning Software advocate. And you can see it. Yes, I write off my business expenses. A startup fee when I started my business was a tax deductible process. As I bought the software, and I do own the software, estate planning software. That too was a business operation and tax deductible for me to do that. Okay, the Diamond Review and Associates Inc. is my company as an independent wealth transfer alliance technology software business billing advocate. That's me. We participate in the Peak Pass and Pay estate planning company, which is Wealth Transfer Alliance, who specialize in setting up revocable living trusts and letting all those persons have access to the software that would enable them to get out of the whatever they're in, have their own process. This is my Wealth Transfer Alliance conference room. Money's my plan B. If you can hear what I'm saying, you want to do that. It's late at night. I'm gonna let it go. I'm not gonna call back, but it's too late to be calling me right now. I'm doing it. All right, so I'm going on with this process. Now here is how you get started. You're gonna get started as an affiliate, or you're gonna get started as an advocate. That's how you start in the company. An affiliate don't have anywhere near of the money that the advocate earns. The advocate earns 10 different ways. 10 different ways, and all the ways of the earning of the advocate is on the screen. So when you enroll, you want to enroll as a business billing advocate, and that cost of enrolling can be spread out over a period of time. The $2,490 combined, what you'd have to pay, $1,900 for the estate planning software and $495 as a business billing advocate. So you want to combine the two when you start so that you can take a tax write-off of $2,400. So all money that you're going to do, and I have this saying, you take the money out of one pocket and put it in another pocket, it is still in your pocket. That's the process of you getting started with Wealth Transfer Alliance, and you consider that way. Make sure you visit the URLs in the white that you see at the top, WTAPlespray.com and myprobatevideo.com and WTAVIP.com. Watch those, open those three URLs up and watch the videos there. It's going to explain to you about the affiliate process, and it's also going to explain to you about the wealth transfer business advocate. And Money's My Plan B is a video telling you how to get started. Now watch this. These are two examples of the income that you can earn. Just an example. It can be a whole lot more and a whole lot less. It all depends upon the time you get up off your hand. But as an affordable medical benefit and also a corporate employee benefit, these are two programs that you can earn simply by completing the Let's Get Started form, passing it over to a Wealth Transfer Alliance advocate, and that person will then start paying you the process, the Peak Pass and Pay. And you see the monthly earnings and the yearly earnings just by you letting your information go. That's all we're talking about. If you need additional health insurance, then you're going to get it at a group rate. You don't have to pay that cost that you've been paying. Even if you have insurance and you want to pay less, then you want to get more, the opportunity is here. The estate planning subscription is look at the monthly income just for that. Just an example of you having just a few people to start it, 21 people. Look what your monthly income would be. While the one on the left is 1,000 people. And you can go to one company and get 1,000 people. Amazon, Amazon has more than 1,000 employees nationwide. A whole lot of companies have more than 1,000 employees nationwide. You know, fast food places, McDonald's, they have more than 1,000 employees nationwide. Church's Chicken, all of them. So all I'm doing is trying to show you a way out of the way, and to show you the power of not sitting on your hand. Now look, as a tax accountant, I am a tax accountant since 1968. This is an example of you having an example 1 and example 2. It's just page 1 and page 2. This is a Schedule C, and this is what you would fill out as a business billing advocate. You would complete this form, and you would complete it under the 1040, unless you have other business concerns that you could have a 1065, or you could have a 1041, or 1120. These are different kinds of forms that the Schedule C can be used to complete. But in this case here with Wealth Transfer Alliance, you most likely will be a sole proprietor or either one of the informations that you'll find on the application to get your tax ID number. And I can help you with that. But you want to be able not to pay the tax that you're going to have to pay if you don't do this. If you get up off of your hands between now and December the 31st, we can take the deduction from January until December 31st. And where are those deductions? They're on your bank statement. Your bank is your best witness because it's going to give you a statement monthly basis. Why? Because all the banks now have what you call digital banking. And you can click on your digital bank and put in your information for your bank, your account number, and all the other information they're asking you for. And you can go in and email yourself your bank statement each month. So by the end of the year you're going to have all 12 bank statements in your hand, and you're going to write on those bank statements what your expenses were, and then give that bank statement to your tax accountant like myself, and we're going to prepare your tax for you to show you how you're not going to pay the tax in 2025 that you paid in 2024. This is just an example. Now here also is another example, okay? The example of you getting that software. This is for the estate planning software. The estate planning software has a cost of $1,995. The business startup has a cost of $495. The two together is $2,490, which is a tax deduction for you. If you want to finance it, then it will cost you the same thing, but you're going to write off the different amount each year. The average cost here with no credit check is about $49.95 or $50. So you pay $50 a month per month, and you're going to take a tax write-off of $50 every month for your business expense for the software. So you're not going to have any loss at all, and you're operating a business, and the vast number of expenses that your bank statement will have are going to suffice for you not to pay the tax that you will have to pay if you ignore me and what I'm telling you to do now. You got to get up off your hands. As long as they're in your hands, you're not going to eat the money or have the money that you would have by not doing this. If you do this, you're going to have extra money and going to come in different ways. Here's step 2. This is step 1, which is the second step for completing this information. Just study this information that you see here, step by step, on how to use WTA financing of the total estate planning software, one-time cost of $19.95, and become a tax deduction for you. You see what I'm saying? And if you are with an advocate, the advocate fee is $495. The two added together is $24.90. Well, you're going to take a write-off of $24.90. If you and your wife had a business, you're going to take a write-off of the two combined companies with the bank statements from each company in that one house. And you're going to be very, very happy when you get your tax refund. This is step 2. And here you're completing the application. But it's all the information, your personal information, your credit card number, all your personal information is what we're getting here. And they're going to check the 2 boxes down here. And now you completed your wealth transfer software purchase. You just bought your software. Now I'm going to conclude this. I'm spending more time than I really anticipated we were going to take to do this. But I do want you to understand the process of you getting up off of your hands and doing this, because once you do it, then your entire family are going to benefit. You now have got the estate planning software for your family, and each family member become a beneficiary in your revocable living trust, regardless of who it is. But we can assume here that the leader here in the revocable living trust is in the center. That's the trust. Okay? The revocable living trust is what the family has. But the person that's in the center don't own anything. The trust owns everything. And she's proven that by giving and putting the information in her own revocable living trust vault. including the will that she perhaps has completed. But all of the smiling faces that you see are beneficiaries for this family. The house, the cars, any rental properties, plane, whatever they have, SUVs, whatever they got, rings, jewelry, saving accounts, stocks, bonds, whatever they have is going to be in the revocable living trust. And now the probate court won't have the opportunity to get anything out of the process because the will that you see the person in the court, the will that she has goes into her trust. And her trust gives a copy of the certified will to the probate court to show the probate court there is no need for you to concern yourself about the will. Here's a will. But the will is now in the hand and the vault of the revocable living trust owner, and the living trust is in the center. She is the trust. She becomes the trust. You're whoever you are that sets up this software. You become the trust. The trust don't own anything. You see what I'm talking about? I hope you understand what I'm saying. But this is a process that we want you to take a look at. All right, now in conclusion, I'm going to now step out and let you get a better understanding of the process. Go to Money is My Plan B and watch the information on the software itself. It's going to give you insights on what you can do with the software. Okay? Then I know that you're going to be blessed. Watch it and watch it until you understand what you got. I want you to have a good day. My name is David, as I've shown you. Have a good day. I love you. Bye-bye.